Hey guys, so I want to do an update to my Land Strike Slayer, and first let's just do a map showcase. So a regular tier 17 map, I'm just going to boss rush. Yeah, this character has turned out very well, very strong, and having a lot of fun with it. I do think the end game of Slayer is probably going to be one of the best tier 17 mappers in the game. The reason for this is just how many map mods you can avoid as Land Strike Slayer, which a lot of other fast mapping builds can't, namely build builds, right? Yeah, let's quickly bust through this map. Absolutely no issue whatsoever now. Yeah, you can pretty much ignore almost every single map mod on this build, and eventually I will get to the point where I can ignore every single map mod. It will just require more and more currency, but yeah, that's something I could not do on a bow build. That is something I will be able to do on this character, which is pretty nice. So we'll just do the boss real quick. It's also very tanky after getting all these items and all that. As you can see, the damage is pretty good. I'll show you the map mods after. But you pretty much just stand everything. Which is like a point like this. Whereas A-bomb boss is a little bit long, as you call like 3 different bosses. But yeah, boss itself died in like 2 seconds or something. In the map mods, Nuke boss had 65% monster life, 130% increase AoE, and 102 monster elemental resist. So the boss was pretty tanky. Just remember that, and it still died practically instantly. So yeah, let's go over the updates. Let's go over what you can improve in your character and all that. First, I want to talk about what you can do. So I always get a lot of these questions, and this will all be an updated FAQ down below. But yeah, what do I need for tier 17? What should I upgrade first? All that. I just want to answer some common questions. So defense stats, make sure you have Fortify and Chest Implicit. Right here, it is the Eater or World Chest Implicit. You can be any tier, but higher tier is better for more consistency. Next, endurance charges. So you get endurance charges from both this wheel right here, before Rallycash, Disciple of the Unyielding, and you get it from Enduring Cry. You need to use Enduring Cry on bosses. Very important. Endurance charges are a lot of your damage reduction. Make sure you're using Enduring Cry. Third, spell suppression. You either need 100% spell suppression or lucky. If you want to do tier 17s, you really need 100%, else you might just die quite a bit to just being unlucky. Yeah, but not 100%. Make sure you are taking this node right here, which is chance to suppress spell damage is lucky on the spell suppression mastery. Once you have 100%, you can unspec out of this node. And lastly, try to aim for hybrid armor and evasion bases. Even I don't have all that because it's kind of hard to only get armor and evasion bases. So I just want pure evasion for now, but eventually I do want to switch to armor and evasion. And you can also use a granite flask with that as well, and you'll be pretty tanky overall versus hits. Lastly, more so a more endgame thing, but Ailment immunity, this is how you get it, by the way. It's Ancestral Vision, which is quite expensive right now. I think it's like 8 divines. You need this, plus I believe 110 spell suppression, so overcapped spell suppression. And this wheel right here, the thick skin wheel, all 4 points. And then chest craft for 25% chance to avoid elemental ailments. Once you have all that, you are ailment immune. So once again, it's 110% spell suppression, which you cannot see like in game. You have to use a PoE. But yeah. You get overcapped spell suppression by tattoos, which are also like 1 divine each, a little bit expensive. So you don't have to worry about it right away, but I'm just letting you know that is how you get ailment immune on this build. And if you don't have Rallycash, then you can just craft ailment avoid on your boots, and therefore you won't need overcapped spell suppression in the first place to make it a little bit cheaper. Next, upgrade order. So yeah, quickly going to upgrade order real quick. If you're just fresh off maps, get a 6 link. These are very cheap. Corrupted 6 links are probably like 15, 10C right now, right? If not cheaper. 1 Taman. Taman's also very cheap right now. I think like 40, 50C. Lethal Pride. As soon as you get Lethal Pride, it solves all your strength issues. And now you may also be asking, what do I want my Lethal Pride? So what you want in Lethal Pride is +1 rage on melee hit is the #1 priority. After that, just go for double damage. So as you can see with my Lethal Pride, I have double damage here. More +1 rage on melee hit here, and I have 1 more double damage right here. So yeah, I have 2 DD and 1 rage on melee hit. The 1 rage on melee hit is the most important stat here. So at the start, just aim for this. It should be like 50 to 80 chaos, not a big deal. Yep, after Leaves of Pride, go for a second Tamen interrogation. And once you go to interrogation, you want to swap to Skitter Bots. So how do you swap to Skitter Bots? Well, using the new mana reservation of Skitter Bots, because it's 35%. So to finish Skitter Bots, you either need a level 2 Enlighten, only level 2, with a 7% mana reservation on Helmet, which is a Eater implicit, or you need the Sovereignty Anoint. So 2 out of these 3 will allow you to fit in Skitter Bots. So just choose what you want. The 7% mana reservation on Helmet is probably the most expensive option here, as this can be quite RNG. You can use 100 of these Ichors and still not hit it. But yeah, choose the route you want to go. Once you acquire Ralakesh, you can start farming tier 17s if your gear is overall good. So overall good as in 700 DPS Claw with crit and attack speed, 100% spell suppression, and I would say at least 1 cluster jewel. So to end on that real quick, cluster jewels, you do not need Fan the Blades with Feed the Fury. Fan the Blades is just for quality of life clearing. It's a little bit better clear speed, but it's not better damage whatsoever on this build. It's really only kind of needed when you go Nimis, because Nimis makes your projectiles go in a random direction, and when you have more projectiles, it kind of makes it more consistent on single target. So yeah, you do not need Fan of the Blades. Just get any cluster jewel with Feed the Fury and anything else that gives you damage. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it gives you damage. So it can be Feed the Fury Martial Prowess, Feed the Fury Calamitous. There's multiple options you can get. You don't need Fan of the Blades, because Fan of the Blades is very, very expensive to craft or to buy. So just keep that in mind. Just any Feed the Fury cluster jewel, because Feed the Fury is the one node that gives you a lot of DPS, as I can show you right here. The one node is giving me 10% DPS. So yeah, that's cluster jewels. Yeah, once you get all that gear, once your gear is actually in a good, comfortable state, then you can start farming tier 17s. So it might be different for each person. Maybe you need a little bit more gear, maybe you need less. It really depends on your experience with tier 17s. Just keep in mind, tier 17s, you do have to roll them quite a bit. You have to know what mods you have to run and all that. I don't have a regex with tier 17s because what mods I can run entirely depends on what mod combos there are. For example, I can run Monster Life, but I'm not going to run Monster Life and 100% reduced damage taken from crits, as it's just way too tanky. Or I can run Monster Pen, but I'm not going to run a Monster Pen with Fizz as extra 200% LE damage, right? That's just too much damage. So yeah, that's why I don't have a regex, so there's too many variables. You just need to find out which mods you can and cannot run. And the easiest tier 17 to run is Fortress, probably followed by Sanctuary, then like Ziggurat and A-Bomb. I would never do Citadel. Citadel's kind of bad. But yeah, Ziggurat and A-Bomb are the best though, because they have the best fragment drops, namely the Maven fragment, which is like 1.1 divine each right now. Yeah, that's it for you guys when we talk about my character upgrades. So yeah, we have Nimis, Ralakesh, really good 6-link chest. We went to a hits cannot be evaded claw. Now the reason why I went for this claw is once again to avoid more map mods, and because it's actually kind of overall better until very, very late game for a 5 mod claw. So I was POB on this with a 3 mod prefix, like 3 tier 1 LA DPS claw versus a hits can be evaded claw, and allowing you to ignore all accuracy on gear and tree actually makes the DPS rather the same for being a lot cheaper, as a claw like this costs like nothing to craft. You just need a base, so the base costs me 10 divines, the attack speed fracture, then you just spam definite essence until you get tier 2 or tier 1 flat LE, and then it's done. So this was like a 3 divine craft and a 10 divine base for a 13 divine claw that's essentially as effective as like 40 divine claws. So yeah, the reason why hits cannot be evaded is good. Once again, allows you to ignore more map mods, and secondly, it also allows you to save passive points. If you don't have this, you're going to need this like full accuracy wheel, maybe this 500 to accuracy rating, and then 2 accuracy ratings on gear as well. So 2 suffixes you lose on your gear as well. And Golden This Claw also allows you to drop Lycosidai, so now I have a regular shield with really good stats, you know, max life, LE damage, flat LE, resist, attack speed, spell suppression. Which the spell suppression is nice, because then allows me to drop these 2 nodes right here, which I was using to get spell suppression cap. So yeah, I really like how my character's performing. The only thing I'm not sure of is what to do with my empty gem sockets. I'm not really using dark marionettes. I don't think I really need them anymore. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with my empty gem sockets. Maybe just a catch when damage taken, tornado setup. But yeah. Also, Progenesis is like a very, very late upgrade. I would not bother with this until like after Headhunter or Nimbus or something. Don't worry about it. Dynasty is good. Get it early. Yeah, I hope this helped you guys. This is my current character progression. I'll link my current POB down below, and hopefully the character progression helps you out here. And also, once again, updated FAQ.